Welcome to the AI for Career Success video overview by Curt Robbins, where we help you get smarter than your competition. Today we're digging into a really thought-provoking piece by Daniel Miessler, published on LinkedIn, titled Cowork and OpenClaw showed us the first practical AGI.
So Daniel Miessler kicks things off with a pretty bold statement. I think we just saw the first glimpse of AGI, and most are missing it. Now this is provocative, right? Because he's not talking about the sci-fi version of AGI. You know, the kind that can do literally everything a human can? Instead, he's pointing to something far more practical. He argues that we should define AGI not by what it knows, but by what it can actually do in the messy, unpredictable real world.
To really grasp his point, you have to ask a pretty fundamental question. I mean, we've had automation for decades, so why are there still so many knowledge workers? What is it exactly that a human employee does that a traditional computer program just can't?
Well, the answer, it turns out, is messiness. Think about a real workday. It's not a clean, predictable script, is it? It's a constant stream of curveballs. The printer breaks right before a big meeting. A key client suddenly changes their mind. A report's entire tone needs to be rewritten for a new executive. The real job of a knowledge worker isn't just the tasks themselves, it's handling all that chaos. And this ability, this skill of handling the unpredictable, is what Miessler calls generality. It's not about executing one single task perfectly. It's about gracefully handling 1,000 imperfect, unexpected situations through constant, tiny adjustments. And honestly, until very, very recently, only humans were capable of this.
Here's a simple way to think about it. A task-specific AI, well, it just follows a script. If it hits a wall or an error, it just stops. It fails. But a general AI is different. It's defined by its ability to find a way around that wall. When its first plan doesn't work out, it has the capacity to create a whole new one on the fly.
Okay, so that sounds interesting in theory, but where's the actual proof that this kind of AI even exists? Well, Miessler points to a really fascinating example from an AI agent called OpenClaw. What it did demonstrated a really startling new level of creative problem solving. So check this out. The AI's goal was simple. Book a restaurant reservation online, but it hit a snag. The website was broken. Now, any traditional automation script would have just failed right there, but not OpenClaw. Instead, it came up with a completely new plan. It actually taught itself how to speak using the 11 Labs voice synthesis tool. Then it called the restaurant and successfully booked the reservation over the phone.
And let's be clear, this isn't just some sterile lab experiment. This is a real-world AI overcoming a problem that its programmers never, ever predicted. That right there is practical generality in action. But it's not just about these clever individual agents. Miessler's second piece of evidence is maybe even more profound. It's the rise of collaborative AI platforms, like Claude Cowork. And what these platforms are doing is creating entire skills markets that could fundamentally change how we even think about professional expertise.
Just think about this for a second. Really complex skills, things like legal analysis, high-end consulting, or detailed security assessments, are now being broken down and basically saved as simple text files. And AI can then just download and execute that skill. What this does is turn expertise that once cost a fortune into a cheap, downloadable, on-demand product. And that has the potential to completely upend entire industries. Now, to really understand the speed of this change, we have to be honest about the underlying economic driver here. As the author puts it very bluntly, the ideal number of human employees in most companies is 0. From a purely financial standpoint, companies are always incentivized to automate as much work as they can. The goal is efficiency, and AI is offering an absolutely unprecedented tool to achieve that goal.
In the scale of that financial incentive, it's almost unimaginable. The total global compensation for all knowledge workers adds up to roughly $40 trillion per year. That massive number, that's the prize. That's why we're seeing billions and billions of dollars pouring into this technology. Everyone wants to capture a piece of that prize.
So this brings us right back to Miessler's central thesis. He argues that the most useful, the most practical definition of AGI isn't going to be found in some academic research paper. It's going to be found in the economy. Practical AGI has truly arrived, he says, at the moment an AI can perform the general, chaotic tasks of a knowledge worker so well that the human role is eliminated and not replaced. That's the metric. That's the only one that really matters in the real world.
And what's really striking is how fast this is all happening, even faster than experts like Miessler anticipated. You see, back in 2023, he predicted that an AI system capable of replacing a knowledge worker would show up before 2028. But now, Based on these recent advancements with things like OpenClaw and Cowork, he's had to accelerate that timeline significantly. He now believes this will happen by late 2026 or 2027.
So, all of this really brings us to the critical question, a question for every single one of us in our professional lives. Is your role defined by a set of tasks that can be scripted, or is it defined by your unique ability to handle the unexpected? Because as AI gets better and better at navigating the messiness of the real world, the answer to that question is really going to define the future of your career. Thank you for watching. This is where we teach you AI and help you get smarter than your competition. If you like these videos, please feel free to use the QR code at the beginning or end of this video to buy us a coffee. And of course, please subscribe to the AI for Career Success YouTube channel, and remember to like, comment, and share to help us reach a wider audience.